September the 13th, 2022. We're going to call the meeting to order. I'm going to call the roll, and we'll start with Alderman Baggett.
Present.
Alderman Potts.
Present.
Alderman Brown.
Present.
Alderman Berger.
Present.
Vice Mayor.
Here.
Alderman Barnhill. Alderman Hanson.
Here.
And Alderman Peterson.
Here.
And the mayor's here also. So tonight we're honored to have Father Ed Steiner from just across the street from City Hall, across from 2nd Avenue, I guess. We're delighted to have him here tonight and applaud his involvement in the community, his church's involvement in the community. So Father Ed, please come forward and give us an invocation, and I'd ask people to stand, and then I'll lead the Pledge of Allegiance after that.
Almighty and eternal God, you have revealed your glory to all the nations. God of power and might, wisdom and justice, through you authority is rightly administered, laws are enacted, and judgment is decreed. Assist with your spirit of counsel and fortitude the mayor and the aldermen, that their administration may be conducted in righteousness and be eminently useful to your people over whom they preside. May they encourage due respect for virtue, manners, and courtesy. Let your light of divine wisdom direct their deliberations and shine forth in all the proceedings they have this evening. May they seek to preserve peace, promote happiness in this city, and continue to bring us the blessings of liberty and equality. We pray for these men and women, for judges, all elected officials, and all others to whom are entrusted to guard our welfare here in this city. May they be enabled by your powerful protection to discharge their duties with honesty and ability. We pray to you, who are Lord and God, forever and ever. Amen.
Please join me in the Pledge of Allegiance to the flag. I pledge allegiance to the flag of the United States of America and to the republic for which it stands, one nation, under God, indivisible, with liberty and justice for all. Okay, the next item on the agenda is the opportunity for citizens to make comments for items that are not on the agenda. Our tradition is to offer up a speaker's card, which is located at this pillar in the middle of the room, and bring those to me, and I don't have any tonight, so we'll continue to move forward. I have no communications from the Williamson County Commission. The next item is approval of minutes, and we're considering the minutes of the BOMA work session, Board of Mayor and Alderman meeting, and a special meeting of the Board of Mayor and Alderman on August 25th. So you have those before you, and I would entertain a motion.
Move for approval.
Double voices. Alderman Peterson, thank you for the motion, and seconded by Alderman Barnhill. Any discussion, any additions, corrections? Ready to vote. Alderman Peterson.
Yes.
Alderman Hanson.
Yes.
Alderman Barnhill.
Yes.
Vice Mayor.
Yes.
Alderman Berger.
Yes.
Alderman Brown.
Yes.
Alderman Potts.
Yes.
And Alderman Baggett.
Yes.
Passes unanimously. We're now going to go through several proclamations, and the first one is for Constitution Week, and we're proud to have some of the folks from DAR, if they'll come on up. And it's always an exciting time when y'all come. And these ladies are full of fun and mischief sometimes, I know. So I'm just being honest. Yeah. So whereas our founding fathers, in order to secure the blessings of liberty for themselves and their posterity, ordained and established a Constitution for the United States of America, and where it is of the greatest importance that all citizens understand the provisions and principles contained in the Constitution in order to effectively support, preserve, and defend it against all enemies, and whereas the independence guaranteed to American citizens, whether by birth or naturalization, should be celebrated by appropriate ceremonies and activities. Now, therefore, I, Dr. Ken Moore, Mayor of Franklin, Tennessee, do hereby proclaim the week of September the 18th as Constitution Week and urge our citizens to study the Constitution and reflect on the privilege of being an American with all the rights and responsibilities with that privilege involves. So.
Thank you. Thank you so much.
Thank you. You want to say something?
Would you like to get a picture over there in front of the logo?
Okay.
Sure.
We have another DAR member who should get down there with you.
Yes.
I would like to invite everyone to our Constitution Week celebration. I'm Dolores Greenwald, and I am chair of the Daughters of the American Revolution Old Glory chapter, and I have some Old Glory friends here with me to tell you about the events going on. This year we've changed it a little bit, so you really want to bring in the kids and grandkids and everybody. But we're having a live history event, and you can interact with Betsy Ross, Dolly Madison. We have Betsy Ross here, that's Cheryl. Dolly Madison, okay, she's Dolly Madison. And Thomas Jefferson and others through the Revolutionary War era. And Viva here is going to be George Washington's mother. Yes, most important role. And we're going to have quizzes and snacks, and we're also, which is an important part of our celebration, we make cards for veterans to send them to them and thank them for their service. And at 3 o'clock, we have the traditional ringing of the bells, which is what they did when the Constitution was ratified. Tuesday and Thursday, now that's Sunday. Tuesday and Thursday, we have two guest speakers. Vanessa Pettigrew, who is an attorney, she's going to talk about Jefferson's triumph and the Bill of Rights. And Thursday, he is the history professor you wish you had. Dr. Tim Johnson is going to be talking on George Washington's farewell address. And I'm telling you, it is just as relevant or more relevant today than it was then. So please come and join us. That's Tuesday, September 20th at 6:30, and Thursday, September 22nd at 6:30, and the Sunday event is from 1 to 3. Thanks, everybody, and thanks for your time.
And the Constitution banners will be up on the square.
Next is, we have a proclamation for the 100th anniversary of United Way. And whereas it's a privilege of the members of the City of Franklin Board of Mayor and Aldermen to pay tribute to those exemplary organizations and their remarkable personnel who work with purpose and conviction to improve the quality of life and in their respective communities. And whereas one such deserving organization is United Way of Greater Nashville, which is commemorating its 100th year, making a century of supporting the vital work of nonprofit organizations across Middle Tennessee. Whereas it was founded in 1922 as the Community Chest of Nashville and was also known as the Nashville War Chest, whereas United Way of Greater Nashville is a trusted partner for the distribution of state and local resources to help meet community needs. In 2020, it distributed more than $65 million in funds from state and local CARES Act funding to individuals struggling with the effects of COVID-19 pandemic. And whereas United Way of Greater Nashville in 2021 brought about 28,000 donors to raise over $17 million, combined with a total of $39.8 million in grant and other funds to generate $57.6 million of funding to give our neighbors across Middle Tennessee an equal chance at a bright future. And whereas through the United Way Community Impacting Funding, more than 100 local nonprofit partners receive funding to serve their clients. And whereas United Way of Nashville, Greater Nashville, is leading the work that is addressing some of the most critical needs of communities across Middle Tennessee with programs such as Blueprint for Early Childhood Success, the Family Collective, and the Financial Empowerment Center, where it is most fitting that we recognize United Way of Greater Nashville for its countless contributions, as well as the being of the citizens of Franklin, Tennessee, and across the state. And as many of you may remember, our local United Way merged with Nashville United Way, just to clarify that. So join me now in declaring and congratulating them on their 100th anniversary. And one last comment about a proclamation that I did today with Find Hope Franklin. We had a board meeting today and had all the participants there, and I was able to offer up a proclamation declaring Suicide Prevention Awareness Month for September. So, given that, we'll now go to miscellaneous reports.
While the mayor's going back to his spot, I do want to get some feedback from the board. One of the things we always share as part of this agenda is upcoming meetings. And one of the elements we talked about at our work session was the possibility of having a special Board of Mayor and Alderman meeting on the 22nd of September. This would allow us to have a first reading of 2 related to some updates of our beer permit. And so what I would like to get some feedback on is we've got the Capital Investment Committee that same day at 3:30. And then we have the Joint Conceptual Workshop, which I've been advised will actually start at 6, not 5. It's listed here at 5, but it's going to start at 6. So I guess what it would appear, best guess of how long that agenda for Capital Investment Committee would be is either a 4:30 immediately following capital investment, or something like a 5:30 or 5:45 immediately ahead of the Joint Conceptual Workshop. Whatever you all would like to do, if you could give us that guidance, we'll implement that, and we will add that and provide notice of that for an additional meeting on the 22nd of September.
My advice would be, the CSC meets from 3:30 to 4:30. So if the other people want to come in right at 4:30, and then we get done, they're going to have to hang out till 5:30, 6 o'clock. You said 6 o'clock is the meeting?
6 o'clock is when Joint
So
Conceptual
I would
starts.
say we do that meeting at 5:30, so the other people don't have to come early if they're not going to be here.
5:30, 5:45, what would you prefer? 5:30?
Well, I think 5:30 is
Okay,
better.
all right, we will go with that.
A little leeway.
Thank you.
Any other miscellaneous reports? Seeing none, we'll rush right into the consent agenda. And all items under the consent agenda are deemed to be non-controversial and routine in nature by the governing body. Tonight, we're considering items number 20 through 21. So is there a motion?
Move to approve the consent agenda?
Thank you. Is there a second? Thank you, Alderman Hanson.
Thank you.
Any other comments or discussion? Ready to vote? Alderman Barnhill.
Yes.
Vice Mayor Blanton.
Yes.
Alderman Hanson.
Yes.
Alderman Peterson.
Yes.
Alderman Berger.
Yes.
Alderman Brown.
Yes.
Alderman Potts.
Yes.
And Alderman Baggett.
Yes.
Passes unanimously. We'll now go into old business. Item number 5, this is a public hearing, consideration of Resolution 2022-37, a resolution adopting a plan of services for the annexation of property located east of the intersection of Peytonville Road and Pratt Lane, outside of the southeastern part of the Franklin urban growth boundary by the city of Franklin.
Thank you and good evening. The city has received an annexation request for property that is located outside of the urban growth boundary. It is located within the Goose Creek Basin. As you are aware, in March of 2021, there was a resolution adopted to proceed with a study of land uses, infrastructure, and road network for the Goose Creek Basin, which is in this area. The plan of services outlines how the city will serve the property should it be annexed and gives any consideration for future development. There are no major issues or concerns with this particular annexation. There will be no additional manpower or equipment necessary for fire, police, or sanitation. Staff recommends approval of the plan of services, Resolution 2022-37, as does Planning Commission. Happy to answer any questions.
And this is a public hearing. Is there anyone who wants to speak to this body? Seeing none, I declare the public hearing closed, and I would entertain a motion.
So move.
Thank you, Alderman Barnhill.
Second.
Seconded by Alderman Potts. Thank you. Any discussion? Ready to vote? Alderman Baggett.
Yes.
Alderman Potts.
Yes.
Alderman Brown.
Yes.
Alderman Berger.
Yes.
Alderman Peterson.
Yes.
Alderman Hanson.
Yes.
Alderman Blanton.
Yes.
Vice Mayor Blanton, excuse me, and Alderman Barnhill.
Yes.
Passes unanimously. Item number 6, this is a public hearing, consideration resolution 2022-38, a resolution requesting a referendum for the annexation of property located east of the intersection of Patesville Road and Pratt Lane and outside of the southeastern part of the Franklin urban growth boundary. Joey?
Thank you. The city has received an annexation request for property that is located outside of the urban growth boundary. As such, annexation cannot occur until referendum has been held where a majority of the property owners requesting annexation vote to have their property annexed into the city of Franklin. This resolution authorizes the request to the Williamson County Election Commission to hold a referendum on November 8th of this year in conjunction with the state general election. A full timeline of the annexation by referendum is attached as part of your materials. The subject property is within close proximity to other parcels that were annexed into the city back in 2020 and does help fill a hole that was created by past annexations. Staff does recommend approval of Resolution 2022-38, as does Planning Commission. Happy to answer any questions.
This is a public hearing. Does anyone want to speak to this body? Seeing none, I declare the public hearing closed. Entertain a motion.
So moved.
Thank you, Alderman Brown. Is there a second?
Second.
Thank you, Alderman Peterson. Any discussion? Ready to vote? Alderman Barnhill.
Yes.
Vice Mayor Blanton.
Yes.
Alderman Hanson.
Yes.
Alderman Peterson.
Yes.
Alderman Berger.
Yes.
Alderman Brown.
Yes.
Alderman Baggett.
Yes.
Alderman Potts.
Yes.
Passes unanimously. Item number 7, this is a public hearing consideration of ordinance 2022-17, an ordinance to zone 23.19 acres of state residential district for the property located east of the intersection of Patensville Road and Pratt Lane. Joey?
Thank you. The proposed zoning of the property to estate residential is appropriate for the existing land use and is consistent with the zoning of the surrounding properties that were recently annexed into the city. There is no corresponding site plan or development plan for the property at this time. Should it be annexed, it will be extended into the city limits, and as such, we will revise the Envision Franklin Land Use Plan as well as our current Goose Creek Basin long-range study, so any appropriate design concepts and land uses can be worked into those long-range plans. Happy to answer any questions.
And this is a public hearing. Does anyone want to speak to this body? Seeing none, I declare the public hearing closed. Entertain a motion.
So moved.
Thank you, Alderman Potts. This is a second by Alderman Hanson. Any discussion? Seeing none, ready to vote? Alderman Barnhill.
Yes.
Vice Mayor Blanton. Alderman Hanson.
Yes.
Alderman Peterson.
Yes.
Alderman Berger.
Yes.
Alderman Brown.
Yes.
Alderman Potts.
Yes.
And Alderman Baggett.
Yes.
Passes unanimously. Item number 8, this is a public hearing, ordinance 2022-28, an ordinance to amend the budget for FY 2022 to 23, second of 3 readings.
Good evening, Mr. Mayor, members of the board. Michael Walters Young, Budget and Strategic Innovation Manager. This is the first budget amendment of the year. We usually envision 3 or 4 during the year. We have a short presentation for you tonight, and there's a series of detailed slides in the back. This was reviewed at Budget and Finance Committee, but we want to make sure to give a little light to what we're doing here. This basically the amendment comes in 3 parts. This is the distribution of the annual wage increases. It's the single most important aspect of this first amendment. We budget, as a refresher, our annual wage increases in general expense lines, in the general fund and in water management and wastewater management, as well as in the other operational funds of sanitation and stormwater. Since we do not know what that amount will be that we distribute to particular departments until merit scores are done and until you vote a budget to determine an amount, we wait to actually move those funds at this time, even though it became effective in employee checks at the beginning of the fiscal year. The second is, quite honestly, cleanup, and you heard a little bit of it from our Assistant City Administrator for Finance, earlier this evening about the delays that we're having in simply purchasing equipment. So there's a series of appropriations of items which were approved in previous years. The money has fallen to fund balance in those funds, general fund, sanitation, other funds, to actually purchase those pieces of equipment because we are on the cusp of, or hope to very soon, actually get those in after 8, 12, 20 months of delay. And then third, there are some small minor corrections and cleanups. The other piece of this, in fact, the vast majority of the actual paper of this ordinance, is staffing and organizational chart changes. When you approved the budget, you also concurrently approved a new compensation plan, which meant that once you approved that pay plan and moved employees' upgrades and changed titles and whatever, every single page of the budget was wrong that had been put in front of you. And that's because it would have been presumptuous to assume that you would approve the pay plan until you had actually done so. So 50 to 60 pages of the 64-page ordinance actually cover redoing the org charts and redoing the staffing tables so that they match. Fund balance changes overall. There is no change to the capital projects fund into the general fund. There's a decrease of fund balance in the street aid fund of $800,000. That is one of those appropriations from a prior year that we're moving into this year to enable us to do paving that we were unable to get to in fiscal 22, in fiscal 21, sad when the budget officer is getting it confused, last fiscal year, that we want to do this fiscal year. Sanitation environmental services is a decrease of $194,000. That's primarily due to pieces of equipment which we are finally able to obtain. Road impact fund is a decrease of $3.3 million. That is to fund right-of-way acquisition for the Long Lane Old Paytonsville Road CIP project. City facilities tax is a decrease of $85,000. Stormwater fund, a decrease of $33,000. Hotel motel, a decrease of $34,000, and call it $35,000. And water and wastewater, a decrease of $311,000. As I mentioned before, you voted Resolution 2022-45, which instituted the new pay plan, and so the vast majority of this ordinance covers those changes. I'm happy to go into more detail, but that is the cursory overview of the budget amendment. Mr. Mayor, I stand for questions.
And this is a public hearing. Is there anyone who wants to speak to this body? Seeing none, I declare the public hearing closed. We'll entertain a motion to approve ordinance 2022-28.
Motion to approve.
Thank you, Alderman Baggett.
Second.
Seconded by Alderman Berger. Any discussion?
This was a lot of work implementing this, and so very good job, staff. And this, the law-approved document, I know, is quite extensive, and so thank you, HR and budget team, for getting all this right.
Our pleasure.
And on that, let's vote. And we'll start down with Alderman Baggett.
Yes.
Alderman Potts.
Yes.
Alderman Brown.
Yes.
Alderman Berger.
Yes.
Alderman Peterson.
Yes.
Alderman Hanson.
Yes.
Alderman Blanton. And Alderman Barnhill, excuse me, Alderman Blanton, I'm reading, well, you are Alderman and Vice Mayor. I'll respect that. So it passes unanimously. Item number 9 is Resolution 2022-58, a resolution to annex 517 Franklin Road consisting of 2.07 acres, property located west of Franklin Road and south of Century Oaks Drive and adjoining the city limits within the northern part of the Franklin urban growth boundary. Established a public hearing on October the 11th, 2022. Is there a motion?
Make for approval.
Thank you, Vice Mayor.
Second.
Seconded by Alderman Brown. Any discussion? Ready to vote? Alderman Barnhill.
Yes.
Vice Mayor Blanton.
Yes.
Alderman Hanson.
Yes.
Alderman Peterson.
Yes.
Alderman Berger.
Yes.
Alderman Brown.
Yes.
Alderman Potts.
Yes.
Alderman Baggett.
Yes.
Passes unanimously. Item number 10 is consideration of ordinance 2022-31, an ordinance to zone 2.07 acres residential R1 district scenic corridor overlay district for the property located west of Franklin Road, south of Century Oaks at 517 Franklin Road, establishing a public hearing on October the 11th, 2022. Is there a motion?
Move to approve?
Thank you, Alderman Brown. Second? Second by Alderman Barnhill. Any discussion? Ready to vote? Alderman Barnhill.
Yes.
Vice Mayor Blanton.
Yes.
Alderman Hanson.
Yes.
Alderman Peterson.
Yes.
Alderman Berger.
Yes.
Alderman Brown.
Yes.
Alderman Potts.
Yes.
Alderman Baggett.
Yes.
Passes unanimously. Item number 11 is consideration ordinance 2022-22. An ordinance to rezone 32.83 acres from Civic Institutional District to Plan PD 3.96 per 142,500 district for the property located west of Franklin Road, south of Gateway Court, located at 553 and 557 Franklin Road. Established a public hearing on October the 11th, 2022. Is there a motion?
So move.
Thank you, Alderman Barnhill. Is there a second?
Second.
Seconded by Alderman Hanson. A little competition going on. Any discussion? Ready to vote? Alderman Barnhill.
Yes.
Alderman Vice Mayor Blanton.
Yes.
Alderman Hanson.
Yes.
Alderman Peterson.
Yes.
Alderman Berger.
Yes.
Alderman Brown.
Yes.
Alderman Potts.
Yes.
And Alderman Baggett.
Yes.
Passes unanimously. Now, we're going to go to item number 12, which is consideration ordinance 2022-32, an ordinance to rezone 20.15 acres from Plan PD District to Plan PD 0.2 to 263,100 District for the property located east of Franklin Road and north of Liberty Pike, located at 230 Franklin Road, the factory at Franklin PUD subdivision. Established a public hearing on October the 11th. Is there a motion?
Move to approve?
Thank you, Alderman Brown. Is there a second?
Second.
Seconded by the Vice Mayor. Any discussion? Seeing none, ready to vote? Alderman Baggett.
Yes.
Alderman Potts.
Yes.
Alderman Brown.
Yes.
Alderman Berger.
Yes.
Alderman Peterson.
Yes.
Alderman Hanson.
Yes.
Vice Mayor Blanton.
Yes.
And Alderman Barnhill.
Yes.
Passes unanimously. Next is Resolution 2022-51, a resolution declaring the intent of the city of Franklin, Tennessee to reimburse itself in a not-to-exceed amount of $26,150,000 for certain project expenditures with the proceeds of general obligation bonds, notes, or other debt obligation to be issued by the city. Is there a motion?
So moved.
Thank you, Alderman Potts. Is there a second?
Second.
Second by Alderman Berger. Any discussion? Seeing none, Alderman Barnhill.
Yes.
Vice Mayor Blanton.
Yes.
Alderman Hanson.
Yes.
Alderman Peterson.
Yes.
Alderman Berger.
Yes.
Alderman Brown.
Yes.
Alderman Potts.
Yes.
Alderman Baggett.
Yes.
Passes unanimously. Item number 14, City of Franklin Contract 2022-0048, an interlocal cooperation and mutual aid agreement for the Williamson County Interagency Swift Water Rescue Team with participating agencies. Thank you, Vice Mayor. Is there a second?
Second.
Seconded by Alderman Peterson. Any discussion? Ready to vote? Alderman Barnhill.
Yes.
Vice Mayor Blanton.
Yes.
Alderman Hanson.
Yes.
Alderman Peterson.
Yes.
Alderman Berger.
Yes.
Alderman Brown.
Yes.
Alderman Potts.
Yes.
Alderman Baggett.
Yes.
Passes unanimously. Item number 15, this is consideration to deny availability for 4268 Columbia Pike.
Mr. Mayor, I'd like to move to table this for 2 weeks to the next session.
Okay? Appropriate motion?
Table is
Defer to the 27th.
Defer the motion
Thank
for
you.
2 weeks.
The date's the 27th. So is the motion to defer this to the voting session on September the 27th, 2022?
Yes.
Thank you. And was there a second?
Second. I'll
Seconded
second that.
by
We can put it on work session.
Alderman Barnhill. Everybody clear on that?
Formal. Yeah, it'd probably be a vote.
Ready to vote?
Not Mr. Mayor.
Go ahead, Alderman.
I don't know what we're going to learn in 2 weeks that will change this significantly because, you know, and I'm not saying that I really oppose 2 weeks, but I don't know what we hope to gain by 2 weeks because we're going to come back and this applicant is still not gonna ask to be annexed in. This applicant, even if they ask to be annexed in, can't get sewer. It's not available. It's up on Lewisburg Pike. So I understand and appreciate, Eric, what you said about long-range planning. I get that. But it's almost like a little too late in my book, because it's, in fact, it is. It's, if we knew about this earlier on, and I know that there was a meeting that, I understand that, but I'm not sure anything we learn in 2 weeks will change this outcome. They're still not going to be asked to annex in. They cannot get sewer. It's astronomically impossible, expensive for them to put sewer in there, all the way from Lewisburg Pike. They want to put 1 per acre, 1 per 5 acres, which they said, I think, a maximum is 60 homes. So with those things, I don't know if we talk to the different departments and try to figure out any information that would change this outcome. Because honestly, I can't see at this point to deny them the right to build there in the county. Now, if you want to come back in 2 weeks and say, is there a way that we can say to them, when we ask you to come into the city, you will, and will you build the homes all plumbed out to a sewer? That might be something that I would like to find out. So I'll vote for the hold on 2 weeks. But I would ask that we come back with something maybe substantial that, could we ask them when they build these homes to put in the apparatuses for sewer, so that when sewer does come down, that they can be given sewer, they can hook onto sewer. Of course, they would have to pay for it at that time. But I know when we looked at the property, the Harry Smith property, they were thinking about putting in their development all plumbed out for sewer, all ready to be connected on. At one time, they had talked about that. So I don't know if that is something that we could put in our document with them to say, we will grant this denial, but here's what we want in return for that denial, is when you've developed these homes, that the apparatuses, the sewer, the lines be put in, because eventually you're going to get sewer. It may be 10 years, it might be 20 years, but you're going to get sewer coming down that line. I don't know. I just want you to consider that. I want you to have that discussion. That's all.
Any
Okay?
other discussion?
Thanks.
Thank you, Alderman Berger. Ready to vote? We'll start down on the end. Alderman Baggett.
Yes.
Alderman Potts.
Yes.
Alderman Brown.
Yes.
Alderman Berger.
Yes.
Alderman Peterson.
Yes.
Alderman Hanson.
Yes.
Vice Mayor Blanton.
Yes.
And Alderman Barnhill.
Yes.
Passes unanimously. Item number 16 is event permit for Franklin High School Homecoming Parade in downtown Franklin on September the 30th, 2022. Is there a motion?
Move for approval.
Thank you, Vice Mayor.
Second.
Seconded by Alderman Brown. Any discussion? Ready to vote? Alderman Barnhill.
Yes.
Vice Mayor Blanton.
Yes.
Alderman Hanson.
Yes.
Alderman Peterson.
Yes.
Alderman Berger.
Yes.
Alderman Brown.
Yes.
Alderman Potts.
Yes.
And Alderman Baggett.
Yes.
Passes unanimously. Item number 17 is consideration of event permit for the Heritage Ball sponsored by the Heritage Foundation on October the 1st at the Eastern Flank Battlefield. Is there a motion?
Move for approval.
Thank you, Alderman Berger. Second
Second.
by Alderman Barnhill.
Where are you?
Yes, sir.
Y'all need to call out all these names as many times. I can't wait till we have that 11 modification of standards.
Oh, no.
You're up.
You might want to record that.
So we do have a
Just
motion
playing.
and a second, and we'll go ahead and vote if there's no discussion.
I actually have something real, this is not related to this event. It just happens to be, I see we're using the old, or the current special event application. So would just like to remind that we want to get that updated.
Yes,
Or at least bring it to a work session.
Ready to vote? Alderman Baggett.
Yes.
Alderman Potts.
Yes.
Alderman Brown.
Yes.
Alderman Berger.
Yes.
Alderman Peterson.
Yes.
Alderman Hanson.
Yes.
Vice Mayor Blanton.
Yes, sir.
And Alderman Barnhill.
Yes.
Passes unanimously. Item number 8.
One quick clarification. It was submitted before we updated.
Oh,
the
got it, okay, sorry.
Form, so the new form.
I
is
should have
being
asked.
used going
I
forward.
apologize.
Yeah, no problem.
Item 18 is event permit for the Porch Fest, sponsored by the West Haven Foundation for October the 1st, 2022 in West Haven. Is there a motion?
Motion to approve?
Thank you, Alderman
Second.
Hanson, seconded by Alderman Baggett. Any discussion? Ready to vote? Alderman Barnhill.
Yes.
Alderman Blanton.
Yes.
Vice Mayor Blanton, rather. Alderman Hanson.
Yes.
Alderman Peterson.
Yes.
Alderman Berger.
Yes.
Alderman Brown.
Yes.
Alderman Potts.
Yes.
And Alderman Baggett.
Yes.
Passes unanimously. Next is appointment of Robert Winston to the Development Services Advisory Committee. This was a hard choice. I had a lot of really good applicants for that position. Mr. Winston is a retired engineer with extensive experience in development for large corporations and other significant entities. He lives in McKay's Mill. He's on
Yep.
the design review team, I think, out
Yep,
there.
yes. Yeah.
So I would appreciate a motion to appoint him.
So moved?
Thank you. Is there a second? Second, Alderman Hanson. Any discussion? Ready to vote? Alderman Barnhill.
Yes.
Alderman Vice Mayor Blanton, I can't get it out tonight. Alderman Hanson.
Yes.
Alderman Peterson.
Yes.
Alderman Berger.
Yes.
Alderman Brown.
Yes.
Alderman Potts.
Yes.
And Alderman Baggett.
Yes.
Passes unanimously. That ends all the business that I have, and I would entertain a motion to adjourn.
So moved.
Is there a second by Alderman Barnhill? All in favor say aye. Aye. We are adjourned.